Hello, friends. Today I'm going to tell the story of Durga Ma, which is a central tantric story about the goddess. Of course, we think of her as Mother Earth. Durga is literally Mother Earth. We are not connected to her. We're not just living on her. We actually suggest that we are her. We come from her body and we will return to her when we leave this world. So she's very, very powerful. We often think of the goddess as the loving mother, unconditionally loving, nurturing, powerful. And this particular, which is Durga as well. So really Mother Nature, think of Mother Nature, the cycle of birth and death. We often don't like to think about the death part because that's the sort of cutting away. And we're actually in a time now where we're noticing a lot of our systems that are based in often misogyny, call it misogyny, bully consciousness, dominator consciousness, are crumbling. And they are crumbling quickly. And we are actually going to be shifting massively towards more of an energetic species. So Tantra helps us tap into that. And when we think of goddesses or archetypes like Durga Ma, we it's first of all like, hey, who is she? Like, oh, she's Mother Earth. Oh, like I intellectually understanding it, but then embodying it. So embodying Durga is like literally Tantra in general. It's I'm strong, I'm powerful. It's all about the body. Like the queendom of the goddess is within you. The queendom of the goddess is within you. That's the whole point. Like every religious tradition will tell us that. So Durga is the embodiment of strength, love, fierce love. So when we see her slaying the demons, which is the story I'm going to tell, she's really slaying the ego, the unattractive parts of humanity, greed, lust, self-absorption, etc., addictions. And she literally composts them and turns them into enlightened qualities. So a lot of the goddesses that I talk about, the dark goddesses, the shadow goddesses, that's where the power is. So in Tantra, we could say when it's bad, something bad happens, or you have something you do, like, okay, like, hey, maybe I eat too much. Like I'm looking at that habit, So I'm not like hating on myself for that, but I'm looking at the underlying reasons, the demons that control me, maybe the animal side, and I don't want to say anything bad about animals, but the demonic side, we'll say the demonic side, the part that fights my higher self, okay? So Durga slices and dices away the ego, okay? She's fierce love. She's not fighting against something external. She's fighting against that which controls us, that which keeps us from our divine self. And she's fierce and she's scary sometimes. Okay, so the shadow is scary. The dark goddess can be scary. Like sometimes she slices stuff we're not ready for, and we have to like deal with that. That's life, man. So anyway, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk a little bit more about Durga. I'm going to show you some fantastic images of Durga. And cheers. Here we are. Okay, so often Durga will be seen on a mount or a tiger, a lion, right? And she's badass, right? Like she's literally sitting on life force energy. Okay, she's the supreme warrior goddess, the embodiment of love and action. She represents the circle of life and Mother Nature in this world and beyond. No big deal. Okay, she's extremely beautiful and radiant. Her form is filled with a stunningly brilliant aura. She is prana, she is Shakti. She was urgently evoked by the male gods as they were unable to keep the evil forces representing the demons from overtaking humanity. They called upon her to do what they couldn't handle. So we could think of this as our world now. We could think of that as our consciousness. It's a micro and macro level, okay? Anyway, the demonic forces have taken over the world. The buffalo demon, Mahishasura, cannot be contained by the male gods. So Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, basically evoked her with great devotion and love and care for days. They had a ceremony, they had like a puja to call upon Durga, okay? She didn't come out of their ribs, okay? That's fucked up, right? Like, let's delete that one, okay? So the origin of her incarnation is due to the males, gods invoking her because they're in trouble. And the tiger represents the heroism, the prowess necessary to defeat the divisive forces, contrasting with the angelic or united forces, okay? Unified forces. So the unified forces and the divisive forces, they're all within us. The good, the bad, the whatever, it runs through everyone's consciousness. The ego, the angel, they're all within us, okay? The lion partakes in the divine essence of the great goddess. She transforms the energy of the universe. Lion is a symbol of strength, braveness, courage, life, day, over darkness or over night, and cosmetic waves like heat and fire. The lion represents the energy that humans must take on an individual and a collective level to slay the ego or lower aspects of humanity on an individual and collective level. The divine feminine riding on a lion or tiger symbolizes unlimited power that is being used to protect the light forces and destroy the dark forces now. Okay, this is 2024, September. Okay, we're going to see some illusion getting sliced away. So she basically cuts away anything that's not real, anything that's not love. Really, like if we get down to the bear, which is Zojin, cutting away, that's not real. What is real? The only thing is love, okay? So the lion also, if we flip it, also is a symbol of uncontrolled animalistic tendencies, such as anger, arrogance, selfishness, greed, jealousy, lust, any intention to harm others or oneself. That's the main one. Lack of self-love, okay? Her sitting on this powerful animal reminds us to control the egoic forces within us instead of them controlling us, okay? Yeah, like I'm pointing at myself, I'm not accusing myself harshly. I'm looking at it, I'm observing it from a witness consciousness. It's a very important construct, okay? You're observing, literally the witness is observing the character, okay? The character is energy, frequency, and phenomenal world. And the witness has to observe it to be able to program it, okay? And then once we become good at witnessing it, then we become the actually programmer of the game, okay? That's really where we want to be in that higher self mode, okay? So I'm going to tell you the legend, okay? We're going to move to the next slide. The legend of Durga Ma. Okay. So Durga was created for the slaying of the buffalo demon Mahishasura by Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and the lesser gods who were otherwise powerless to overcome him. So the unbalanced society is powerless. Dominator consciousness is powerless in overcoming the dark forces because they, in essence, created that unbalance created that, okay? Distortions, that's all it is, okay? So embodying her collective energy or Shakti, she is both a derivative from the male energies and the true source of their power. She is the source of the power of the masculine. She's the energy, okay? And he's the consciousness, okay? Together, they work very well, okay? She's also greater than any of them, okay? She's life itself. Shiva cannot animate without Shakti. So we cannot live without Mother Earth. Born fully grown and beautiful, Durga presents a fierce, menacing form to her enemies. So she appears to the masculine gods, and they say, hey, we're in a bit of trouble here. We need you to go and slay the buffalo god. Like, we can't do it. And they arm her. Like, all of these weapons are given to her by the divine masculine, by Shiva. Shiva's trident, the discus from Vishnu, all of those tools. Okay, so we can think of those as tools in our yoga toolbox. The lotus represents enlightenment. She's got that wisdom. She's sees clearly what needs to be sliced off. Okay, so what happened is this buffalo god basically did a lot of devotion, a lot of penance. We would maybe call penance in Christianity, to please Brahma, the creator. Okay, so after several years, Brahma, pleased with the devotion of this buffalo god, appeared before him. And the demon opened his eyes and asked the god for immortality. So Brahma refused, but he kept going. And basically, at some point, Brahma had to give him a boon, or a little present. And, you know, this buffalo god asked for immortality, that he cannot be slayed by any god. Okay, and that's how we got into this situation. We cannot continue with status quo. We cannot just stay the course, because something's got to give. And anyway, so Brahma granted the boon, and then he took off, basically. So the buffalo demons, they started torturing people, creating distortions in the world, abuse, control, trauma porn, addictions, taught women to be powerless and weak. And the devas were worried, and their combined power gave physical form to the sum of their divine energy. So she's the cosmic mother. She's like the cosmic mother. She is Adi Shakti, okay? This is a really good representation of Adi Shakti, a warrior woman with many arms, the embodiment of the cosmic mother. Okay, so the gods, her colleagues, you know, gave her the lion and all the weapons. They couldn't do it themselves. They called upon her. She appeared before the buffalo demon, and he saw her as a beautiful woman. And he started getting all lusty, and he went all like, ooh, oh, she's here to serve me, objectifying her. And said, oh, you can be one of my many wives. Come into my home, who was formerly the, you know, God's house. He like moved in there. He's like, come in, pretty lady. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. Ugh. Creepy. Okay. Gross. Okay. So he's a demon. He used to be slayed. We can't just, you know, say, sure, we'll come into your house and hang out. No, don't do it. So Durga's cool. Like, she's cool. She's like, hey, you know, that sounds like a good idea for you. But the thing is, I've made a promise to myself. I would never marry anyone that could not beat me in battle. Okay. So this is when Durga lays down the thing, the gauntlet, right? And of course, Brahma is like, I will not fight a woman. I am strong man. And she's like, all right, well, you know, whatever, if you don't want to do that. And she's like, well, I'll second thought, I'll let out all of my little demons and minions. We're going to have a battle. Okay. So Durga gets into position. She's focused. She's literally life force energy itself. Okay. And she slicey, dicey, all the demons, all of the demonic forces, all the illusion, all the trauma, all the drama, easily. She's life force energy. Okay. Now, the demon goddess was a shapeshifter, of course, right? So he changed into many forms, and, you know, came after her, and he's like, hey, this isn't fair. You know, I didn't think that you would be such a strong badass. And he started turning himself into 10 more demons. And as they fell to the ground, the demons, so he multiplied exponentially. It just became really exponential. So out of Durga's third eye came Ma Kali. Ma Kali is really the quintessential warrior goddess. So she's like the queen warrior goddess. And she is often seen with her tongue out. like this. She's literally licking the blood of the demons before it hits the ground. So Kali Ma, that's a whole other, you know, and they're all one. Okay, this is non-dualism. They're all one. It's just an aspect of the goddess, of the mother. Fierce love. She's coming in to protect us and slice away the bullshit that we have told ourselves about ourselves and humanity, which is, you know, not real. Like, what is real, right? So she defeated his minions. They're like, it's a mess. Kali's been lapping up blood of the demons, so they could win. And a lot of the goddesses came out of Durga's third eye. This is the collective feminine, literally coming out of Durga. Mother Earth is changing her frequency. So out of that, comes the shift goddesses. Okay, so I'm a shift goddess, and there's a lot of us here. Okay, Shaktism, modern Shaktism. Western women will change the world. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the meek shall inherit the earth. Yes, it's happening. Okay, we're rising up to partner with the masculine, partner with Shiva. This is what happens. She's got to take the lead, however, right now. So the essence of the divine masculine, Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, is to support and hold safe space. We desperately need to hold safe space for the feminine right now. We have been programmed to do the opposite. Our masculine side has been programmed to do the opposite, that bully on the playground consciousness. Okay, so she says this will no longer stand. Like, first of all, respect the divine feminine, slicey, dicey, anything that doesn't serve the goddess or love. So it's just a big pool of blood, okay? And the demons are laying there. They're completely decapitated, and their heads are looking up at Durga, okay? What I'm showing you here is cartoon tantra, okay? The real tantric goddesses, you probably piss your pants, no shit, okay? So they're all looking up her, they're like, Ma, Ma, Ma. And they realized that she was their mother, okay? And they were no longer needed on this earth necessarily as that frequency. So they were, of course, absorbed back into their mother. They recognized who they were right after they died, which is often when we do this, okay? So in the end, they had that flash of realization that Durga was their mother. It's also, in this world, a reflection of women and girls, the feminine essence and your feminine side. And Durga Ma is literally reclaiming her children, saying it's time to wake up. It's time to remember who you are. And that's the story, and that's the prophecy of Durga Ma. We're really going to see this coming a lot, in my estimation, in October and November. So Durga Ma is just saying, hey, it's basically like, y'all got to get on board to love me and the divine feminine and women and girls. Now is our time. Humanity is here to lead with compassion, wisdom, and most of all, love, into a new world based in peace. Jai Ma. Namaste. That was fun.